Hi friends, so I'm back from another bike ride, of course, and today I'm going to talk about potatoes, the next of the vegan staples. Potatoes are amazing, obviously, very low in fat, high in carbohydrates, which is what we want, and delicious. Can be savory, or it can actually be sweet as well, especially with the sweet potato, right? So I usually have sweet potatoes with sugar on them or salt and pepper on them. And then if I have like a russet potato or a white or red potato, I go the savory direction. Anyway, so here we go. All right. First step, obviously, remove the tape from the clock on your oven because you don't want this to glare at you, when you're not cooking, what I'm saying? Double negative action. All right, anyway, we bake the potatoes at maybe 425, at kind of like a higher temperature. They're different schools of thought, I should say. So this potato is pretty massive. It might take like an hour and 20 minutes or something. Let's go over to my pile here. Much smaller potato. This one will probably take 45, 50 minutes. So when I do potatoes, I usually do about 5 of them at the same time, which is a pretty good meal, I found. Hold on one second while I add you to my stand. Excellent. All right, can we see everything? Not really. Okay, there we go. Sweet. Okay. Oh yeah, and also, because I just took a bike ride, I'm not waiting for potatoes to finish cooking or anything. I'm immediately eating something. Because I want to return the sugar to my cells. Really important not to wait after a workout to eat or something. I just want to get something going on immediately. Anyway, okay, cool. So while the oven's preheating, I'm going to first wash these potatoes, of course. And I'm not obsessing, I'm just washing them slightly. I don't really worry too much about the dirt and whatnot on my food. I know some people get like a little brush and scrub them, or if they don't like maybe this part right here, they don't like how that looks, so they'll chop it out. I find that completely unnecessary. I mean, if there's like an obviously moldy or rotten part of the potato, I'm gonna chop it off, but if this one's kind of on the line, right? Like this spot kind of has a different texture to it, but it's all right, it's fine. But you be the judge of your level of potato cleanliness that's required. Awesome, okay, now my second step. Like always, I'm going to break out my trusty Santoku Japanese knife here. Sweet. Gotta love it. Okay, and then what I like to do is chop the ends off of the potatoes. I'm doing sweet potatoes. That's been my obsession recently, as I've mentioned before. But I like all potatoes. They're all good. So I'm just chopping off the ends, because I feel like that's the grodiest part of the potato. The part that is least flavorful. You could probably eat the whole thing, it doesn't really matter. But I think it ventilates nicely too when you take the ends off, which is going to be our next step, of course. So now that I've chopped the ends off, I'm going to stab the potato a bunch of times. So, being careful not to chop off any of my fingers, because I can't afford to lose any more. And yeah, so that's legit. You don't need to stab it nearly so many times. I just kind of like to. But you just gotta create some ventilation so that when the potato is baking, the moisture inside the potato has somewhere to go and doesn't blow the potato to pieces inside your oven, and you have to clean like an inordinate amount. That's not what we're looking for, of course. For easy veganism, less cleaning, better in general. All right, I've forgotten which one I've stabbed already. That's easy to notice. Sweet. Wacha! Wacha! Sweet. Okay, now that's a little sketchy. That part right there is a little sketchy, so I'm going to remove it. Yeah, see the like blackness. I don't feel like that's necessary. We don't need to eat that. All right, cool. One more potato to stab. Again, being careful. You don't want to stab yourself. Only do this if you're confident, you know? I think, honestly, a fork would be even better because it would leave smaller holes. And these big slits here, like more juice is likely to ooze out of the potato, which is not ideal for cleanliness purposes. But again, I just like having an excuse to use my knife. So now you've got a couple options. And if you look online and whatnot, there's, again, different schools of thought. But like some people will say you need to put olive oil on the potato and salt and pepper, and that gives you like a nice moist or crispy skin or something like that. I don't use overt fats in my diet, at least at this point. If I was getting too thin, then I would put overt fats back into my diet, like oil, avocado and stuff like that, olives, etc., all delicious. But because I don't need overt fats in my diet, you just honestly don't need any of that stuff. You don't need olive oil. You don't need salt and pepper. You can add that after the fact. So I'm literally going to take these potatoes and I'm going to put them inside the oven at whatever, 425 degrees for about an hour or so, maybe 55 minutes. And then I'll pull the smallest one out. This one's the smallest one in this case. I'll pull the smallest one out and I'll stab it with a fork. And if the fork just goes in perfectly, super easy, then I know this one's done. And I can use that to gauge how close to done the bigger ones are. Like this one will probably be done next, especially with its removed chunk there. This one will probably be the last one to be done because it's the largest. You get me. I usually put the large ones in the back of the oven. Like if this was the oven grate, I put the large ones in back and I'll put the small ones in front because I know I'm going to test them first. Some star-like arrangement like this, you know, like 5-element arrangement. All right, so that's basically it. Potatoes, definite vegan staple. The other thing is they're so cheap. Potatoes are usually like $1 a pound or $1.50 a pound. Really, really good buy. Oh, and I'll mention one more thing. So a lot of people will wrap the potato in aluminum foil. Honestly, you get like a different vibe with that because when you wrap it with the aluminum foil, it usually makes the skin super, super soft and prevents some of the messy cleanup issue. But it's a waste of foil, honestly. I mean, this is probably not, we're not trying to make a bunch of waste out of nowhere. So this is honestly not necessary. You could try wrapping them in foil if you want. It kind of steams the potato. It's like a bake steam action. And since I mentioned that, yeah, like I said, it's not necessary. And since I mentioned that, I should also say that another option, which I know is really popular, is air fryer. If you get an air fryer, then you can create some really nice potato texture at lower temperature. And I think it doesn't require as much time either. But I have yet to experiment with the air fryer. If you use one, let me know. But I think I'll be getting one. Air frying vegetables seems like a really easy and functional way to make this work. All right, that's it for now. Have a great day, y'all, and I'll see you soon.